Welcome to today's explainer. All right, so I want you to imagine, just for a second, that we're all sitting around a campfire late at night. You know the vibe, right? The fire's crackling, the shadows are getting long, and the conversation suddenly takes this highly revealing turn. Today, we're diving into a very specific, literally bite-sized piece of text that lays out a miniature psychological drama. It's this beautifully simple thought experiment about the distinction between intelligence and wisdom. And I've got to say, as someone who absolutely loves breaking down how we communicate, I find this particular scenario just fascinating, because it's crazy how much it reveals with so few words. So we're going to map out this exact interaction step by step to see what it actually tells us about human nature.
Now, the thought experiment begins by tossing out a really old, familiar question. Would you rather be rich or famous? We've all played this game, right? It's the classic old paradigm. I mean, it's that hypothetical question that's been bouncing around dinner parties and middle school lunchrooms for decades. Basically, are you chasing wealth or are you chasing legacy and recognition? But here's the catch. The source text specifically asks us to completely leave this old question in the dust. It wants us to pivot away from those external material desires and look entirely inward. So instead, it introduces a totally new paradigm. Here it is. Would you rather be smart or wise? Now wait, let's take a deliberate pause right here. Genuinely, lock in your answer right now. Actually, don't just gloss over it. Think about it. Are you choosing the sharp, rapid-fire processing power of being smart, or are you going with the deep, experiential intuition of being wise? You got your answer? Okay, good. Hold on to it tightly, because the text is about to reveal exactly what happens next. What makes this so incredibly fascinating is that it's not just some abstract philosophical musing. Oh no, it's an interactive trap. It's like a conversational flowchart. There are two very distinct steps here. Step one is the choice you literally just made a second ago. Step two is the reaction. The very moment you make your choice, you trigger one of two distinct, totally predetermined responses from the person asking the question. Basically, we are standing at a narrative crossroads, and your choice completely dictates the reality you are about to step into.
Let's walk down the first path, shall we? Imagine the tension in the moment. You've boldly claimed that, hey, you would rather be smart. You have confidently planted your flag on the side of raw intelligence. So, what happens next?
The immediate response you get is, okay, genius. But wait, it's all in the delivery here. The text specifies this is said almost mockingly. Like, think about how isolating that reaction actually is. You claimed intelligence, and your reward? A sarcastic, punchline-like dismissal that instantly creates this huge distance between you and the speaker. It's such a fascinating look at how claiming to be smart can, well, sometimes immediately alienate you from the very person you are talking to.
But let's rewind for a second. Let's head right back to that crossroads. What if you took the second option? What if you looked at the person and simply, quietly answered, wise? Let's see exactly where this alternate path leads us. The contrast here is just dramatic. If you choose wise, the response is, that's a wise answer, my friend. Notice the complete absence of mockery there? It's this incredibly warm, validating tone. Choosing wisdom doesn't isolate you at all. It instantly builds camaraderie. By simply adding the phrase, my friend, the speaker totally affirms your choice and brings you closer. It's an absolutely powerful psychological shift, hidden right there in just a few tiny words of dialogue.
So we've seen the isolating reality of choosing smart, and we felt the warm camaraderie of choosing wise. Which brings me to my final question for you today. Knowing these two very distinct outcomes, knowing the exact reactions that await you, if you were asked this question tonight, with that fire crackling and the shadows growing long, would you still make the exact same choice you made a few minutes ago? Think about that. Thanks so much for exploring this fascinating little narrative explainer with me today. And hey, keep questioning the paradigms in your own conversations.